Welcome to Healthy Skeptics, where we take a no BS approach to holistic health.
We're a mother-daughter duo who believe in redefining health by going beyond rigid protocols, detox fads, and restricted diets.
Here we dig deep into root causes, challenging traditional and holistic medicine, and talk about what really works in today's world to help you feel your best.
Join us as we sift through the noise, tackle myths, and offer real insights into holistic health with a healthy dose of skepticism.
All right. Hi. Welcome back. Scoot your chair over.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know. You said
I can't.
your way over.
I am, but it's okay. I'll lean.
We should get comfier chairs.
I know.
Okay. So anyways, we have a little bit of a different format today for today's podcast. I think it's going to be fun.
We'll see.
But basically I'm coming into this a little bit blind. So yes. I know the general idea of what my mom wants to talk about today.
I got so irritated this week with a particular Instagram post by a particular person who irritates me every time he pops up on my feed.
Do you want to say who the person? Are we gonna?
Because I say it wrong, so I'm not gonna say it. I emphasize the last half of his name.
Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So there's a particular Instagram post, but there's been many social media things about these specific topics.
Yes.
Which what we're going to talk about. There's some trends, some really.
Can I just say
probably like the weirdest? It's the weirdest health trends I've seen in 2024. This is the weirdest. These three are the weirdest. Although coffee enemas aren't new, people have been doing them and promoting them.
Well, technically, none of these are new.
None of them.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is, can I just blurt it out? Because this was what I said to her. I said, we've got to do a podcast on this. Because now people are eating other people's poop, drinking urine, and then sticking coffee up their butt. And I was like, I can't anymore. And the urine one yesterday.
This one was new to me. I saw the poop one months ago.
Yeah, you sent that to me a while ago.
And I thought it was like satire. I thought it wasn't real. Mm-hmm. And then whatever. We're going to talk a little, I think a little bit about.
Yes, I have notes.
Yeah.
I actually have notes.
But then the urine thing you just sent me, and then we've been wanting to talk about coffee enemas for a while. So now this isn't just going to be bashing. There's actually some.
No, it's more sarcasm than bashing.
Okay, haha. Yes, we want to what is it? Shine the light on these trends, but also there's some nuggets.
Right. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, but there are some takeaways that can benefit you, I think.
Well,
as well. I don't know. I'm kind of blind, so maybe not.
Blind.
We'll see. Usually there are.
I think it's not. I mean, I don't think these trends are ones where you go, okay, if you don't do this, like the swaps, right? Like a swap. It's not a swap. This is not a swap situation. This is just understanding what they were. Okay, for the urine one, and specifically ancient times. Where did this come from? Why is this
let's just jump in then.
Okay.
Well,
I was just going to say then, with the poop, there was a specific medical purpose that, was done for a specific reason, for a specific disease.
Yes.
And then the coffee enemas, I don't even know where the hell that started, but that one just gets me.
So,
especially when I saw people doing parties, girls holding up their little enema bags, doing
parties?
Yeah,
I haven't seen
coffee enema parties. Oh yeah, I saw it on Instagram. Popped up on my feed. Yeah, I was like, are you kidding?
People will do anything for content.
I don't think they really are. I think they're just holding their bags going, we're doing this so that for content.
For content. Yeah, people will do literally anything for content. Okay, so starting with this social media post that sparked the urine.
I just want to play it.
Oh, we can't play it because there's really no way to play it.
I could play the sound. But anyway, so basically this particular
chiropractor,
particular chiropractor, very, very,
trend. He does a lot of the health trends. I think he promotes a lot of health trends.
Yeah. Also, I think he does it for the, click factor.
Yeah. Yeah. What the click factor?
The click factor. That would be my generation's version of whatever it's supposed to be.
What is it called? Clickbait. There you go. Okay.
Right. Anyway, he does it for that. And the shock value. Mm-hmm. But that one just got me. So it starts off with him saying, oh, my wife is having these issues.
He's at a conference.
Yes, he's at a conference.
And he's talking to a person who is
doctor. He's talking to someone in a white coat. Let's just not go to doctor, okay? But he's talking, and they're having a discussion, and he said, oh, you're drinking urine. It's the best thing for you. Whatever's ailing you. My wife just did it the other day, fixed everything. It's just like, okay, first of all, he never says what it is.
Okay, wait, he never says what is.
He never says what's wrong with him or her or why drinking your urine is so great.
Okay, wait, I think I just have to...
You gonna play it?
I think I just have to watch it to get an idea. Okay.
Okay. Well, I just told you, my wife drank her own urine last week. I'm serious. You're going to hear why this is true. And it cleared out what she had going on. So what's going on? This is the oldest ancient medicine known to man. Let's talk about
blew my mind.
Oh, you respect it.
Okay. He's selling something. He's selling a product.
Word salad.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can stop. We can just stop. That's plenty.
They're alive, more purified than the blood, and so therefore it's the safest way to consume. Babies drink their urine in utero.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Come on.
Wait.
Every country in the world.
It's actually 20 weeks, but we won't get particular.
Oh my God. Exactly. That's the future. To me, it's the only way out of this system because it's universally accessible and everyone can play. Affordable. Awesome.
Affordable. It's great.
I was going to end that. It's affordable. Okay. Go on.
Okay. Now it's like I'm now listening to it again. It seriously blew my mind. When he starts off with my wife drank her urine last week, I went, oh, I had to turn it off because I was like, I can't even watch the rest of this because this is such bullcrap. Unreal. So anyway, let's just address a few points. Ancient cultures. Yes. So when you think about ancient cultures, there were lots of things that were done for reasons, that they just figured out it worked, right? So for example, one of the things that urine was used for in ancient cultures, like thousands of years ago, and it's really kind of interesting, is that they used to spill urine on the ground. And they would tell, so when someone was having certain symptoms, they could tell by how quickly the ants came to the urine, how much sugar was in the urine.
So smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what they did to correct the sugar in the urine, but at least they would identify that. Yeah, here you go. Okay. So ants and urine, that's one thing that they used urine for.
Okay.
Then there were some studies done in Germany around cancer. And this was one, like if you start Googling, you'll find some connections to drinking urine and cancer cure. But they did find that, in laboratory studies, that if someone ate certain vegetables, I think it was, was it cauliflower? It was like, cabbage was cabbage. When you ate cabbage, the concentration of the urine or the metabolites of the urine or the output was such that it killed certain cells. Okay. Now, point number 2, I'll get back to like why these things, what the truth is in urine being possibly having some curative whatevers.
But there's no truth in it.
No,
you're not drinking your own pee.
No,
it's been filtered out of your body.
It's been filtered out. It is what's left in it is toxins. That's how one of the ways your body gets rid of toxins is going through that whole big, huge, long filtration process. I mean, my gosh, the kidneys are just amazing with how many tubules and turns and different things it has to go through in order to filter out anything that could be used by the body. Right. So what's left is, I was going to say what's left is poop. Yeah. But no, actually what's left is urine. That's just toxins that your body's getting rid of, right? So anyway, point 2. At 8 weeks, your fetus starts drinking its own urine. So it must be good because in utero, there's a system where, the baby is drinking urine. It's like, okay, first of all, not 8 weeks, 20 weeks. And that is a fact that, by the end of pregnancy, by the time you're like 32 weeks to 40 weeks, basically that amniotic fluid is made up of the urine from the fetus. Mm-hmm. Okay, so fair. It is swallows like somewhere around 800 to 1,000 liters of its own urine every single day to recreate all of that amniotic fluid. I did the deepest dive into amniotic fluid last night. I was just like, ooh, big rabbit hole. But anyway, it was very fascinating, all the different things, because it's like, at first it's the mom and the plasma and fluids and things like that. And it has all kinds of properties that I didn't even realize.
Talking so fast.
I know, because it's so exciting.
Okay.
So anyway, I'll try to slow down. But anyway, so fetal urine is amniotic fluid. It's just basically the fluid that the mom created that is now being recirculated. There's no toxins. There's nothing coming in from external. It's all just
it's in its system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's just a way for the baby also to like get its system working. So it's, it's like pouring clean water through. Right. Just, like making clean water. So the urine that your fetus is making is not the urine that you make when you get outside in the world and you're taking in food and toxins,
But mom is taking in food and toxins.
Yes, but mom. So there's, if you can talk about nutrition in while being pregnant, those first 20 weeks, mom is the one that's producing the amniotic fluid.
Right.
So, but.
And your baby doesn't drink it.
No.
The first 20 weeks.
No. Okay. No. So it's being filtered and filtered and filtered and filtered to be pretty pristine by the time the kidneys are ready to start, processing and then peeing out urine, quote unquote.
Before the baby's kidneys are peeing out.
Yeah. So it's just this whole, it's just this really cool process. Mm-hmm. So him saying that, first of all, he got the gestation weeks wrong. And then secondly, it's not urine. It's not actually urine.
Yeah.
Like, inside versus outside. Like, it's a different thing.
So I'm curious, what are they're like, oh, it'll cure all your problems. They were talking about it from the standpoint of like that it clears toxins because what word salad thing did he say? Connective molecules or something?
Yeah. I don't know.
That doesn't mean anything.
I don't know.
But what's happening there?
So the actual piece of urine that has any kind of property that would do anything is urea. Mm-hmm. And so for example, one of the things I was like, okay, so now we're talking about urine and the whole thinking of the Friends episode, with everybody, the Friends episode where they pee, where Chandler pees on Monica or not Chandler, it was actually Joey, I think, that peed on Monica because Chandler couldn't or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So, look at me being a millennial for a moment. Anyway, but the whole wives' tale of peeing on a jellyfish sting or that it's supposed to neutralize.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, most people's urine doesn't have that much urea in it. Mm-hmm. And they said, and actually, if your urine is diluted, which most, unless you're super dehydrated or something, your urine is pretty diluted. And so you're actually causing more pain than you're fixing a problem because now the proteins that are left in the urine are actually activating the proteins from the sting and making it worse. Okay. So it's kind of funny. So anyway.
So they're saying the claim is you drink your pee and you have the urea protein that's going to do what exactly?
That it's just going to cure everything. Like they're saying that the urine that comes out of you has information for your body so that if you drink it, now your body has information to fix whatever's going on inside of you. It's like it like just from that standpoint, it's like, really? That's crazy.
Why would the body, this is just from like a common sense standpoint of like, why would the body be peeing it out if it needed it for information?
Well, I know, that's the thing.
Or like, why would it be trying to get rid of it? Or are we saying that we're peeing out things we shouldn't be?
No, I think they're saying that from the small little conversation, I think it's just, they're saying that, it's the information that's coming out of us, the toxins that are coming out of us is information for our body so that it can learn what toxins we don't need, and you're putting it back in and your body gets another chance to, learn from the toxins. That's what I took from that. And it's like, my body already knows, because otherwise it wouldn't have got rid of it.
Right.
Because like I said, that filtration system that's in your 2 kidneys is pretty complex.
What people will do to avoid the lifestyle changes of like actually just supporting your detoxification systems as they stand. There are very, very simple, easy ways to support your liver and your kidneys so that it's filtering out toxins. If toxins are our biggest, as he claims, our biggest enemy to health, then great. Let's make sure we have a well-supported detoxification system, which is not hard. They were literally created to do that job.
Yeah, I know.
It is not challenging to have a detoxification system that is working well.
Right.
If you're eating enough nutrient-dense foods, you're getting enough rest, and rest from an emotional, physical, mental standpoint, and sleeping.
No, I
mean, that's it. Like the overcomplication of this blows my mind in the health and wellness world, claiming that we need products. Now, apparently, we need our own urine.
Yeah, but I'm going to say one more thing about urine. So you will find...
I gotta ask you a question.
Well, you're going to find...
Okay, after you're done, I gotta ask you a really important question.
Okay. So, when I was growing up, when I was little...
This is what you're going to tell me?
Yeah.
This is the question. You told me your grandma...
No, not my grandmother.
Your aunt?
My grandmother's sister. So
your great aunt?
Yeah, my great aunt.
Like, used to put it on her face.
Yeah, so no.
Which is also gross.
It is gross, but let me tell you something.
That
seared
piece
into
of
your memory?
Information, I don't remember how old I was when you told me that, seared into my memory that your aunt put pee on her face and she looked amazing.
She did. She was like, I mean, to me, as a kid, she was 100. She was probably in her 60s. But I mean, she looked like the best plastic surgeon, Botox fillered person worked on her entire life. She did not have a wrinkle. It was amazing.
Do you want to do this experiment?
No, I do not. But I will tell you something. If you go out and look, they actually are putting urea and in its form, it's a carbamide. And you will find...
What is a carbamide? No one knows what carbamide.
I'm telling you it because it's urea manufactured. Or it's a product of urea. And it's the piece in urea that actually does the work. Okay. It is in skincare. It is in, if you go and look for carbamide skincare.
Your pee is affordable.
I'm just saying I'm just saying that it's kind of like doing a vitamin C peel. I mean, it's a strong exfoliant. It's, so it's
is she just like a super dehydrated lady?
I don't know. I wish I could go back and ask her, how did this really work? But she swore.
Did she wash her face with it?
No, kind of like if you think about, she put
it on cotton.
Yeah, kind of like on a cotton swab and did a wash. Yeah, like did a, wipe every day.
Would you ever try it?
No.
Would you try it just to test it?
No.
See if it's true.
No. First of all, I'm past the point of it like making a difference. It would be
okay, so you have such a visceral reaction to that, but you're saying there's a compound in there that potentially made her look insanely stunning.
I am, but she didn't drink it. That's disgusting. And okay, so people, like they have said, people out in the desert, right? They drink their urine to stay hydrated. And I'm like, but if you're dehydrated, you're not really producing urine. So how's that actually working? I guess you get like one good pee and then you're out of luck because that's only going to be more concentrated on the way back.
Well, will it make you sick?
I didn't go into
because they're like, it's sterile, it's fine, it's whatever, but it's sterile anymore once it comes out of you.
I think they said sterile like.
Oh, okay. It's sterile-ish, whatever. But when it comes out of you, it's no longer sterile.
Correct. Just hit the air. We're done with sterile.
So
it's like sterile environments aren't sterile environments if there are people and things in the environment.
Right.
You can make it as sterile as possible. Through temperature control and air movements and all of those kinds of things. But it needs to be like kind of a vacuum, like a closed system. In order
but why wouldn't you put the pee on your face? I'm like, if Like, why wouldn't you?
Why are you asking if I would?
I think I wouldn't, just from the standpoint that feels really gross.
It does,
but is there any detriment to me doing it? I guess is the question.
I don't know. All I'm saying is that I don't know that there's a detriment.
Is there a detriment to drinking your own pee? If someone was like, I'm going to try this, if there's no harm, no foul, I'm just going to do it.
I would imagine you wouldn't feel good.
I would imagine you wouldn't feel good. Yeah.
But I have no. I'm not going to try.
But there's no harm from a medical standpoint. Is there potential harm in doing it?
There's always potential harm when you're introducing toxins into your system.
Mm-hmm. Toxins that are supposed to cure your toxins.
Exactly.
Which doesn't make any logical sense.
Anyway, that is why it blew my mind, because then I was like, okay, now I got to go figure this out.
My favorite line was that it's affordable. I was like,
no, it's affordable,
not free. He said affordable, which clearly is pointing to the urine therapy thing that he's trying to sell.
Correct.
But I'm like, nope, it's free.
I know
it's affordable.
But again, it's this idea. There's a grain of truth somewhere buried in what they're talking about,
in whatever trends.
Yeah, and this is the urea having some properties that can be beneficial in certain circumstances, right? And it's like, so that,
but specifically for filtering, like this is the thing where I'm like, urea, great, it can neutralize toxins. Obviously, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. Face, skin. Right. If you're stung by a jellyfish, whatever.
Make sure it's concentrated.
That neutralizes toxins, but you're still introducing urea. Your pee is not only made up of urea, so you're introducing a whole bunch.
It's a very, very small amount.
So when you're drinking it, you're introducing a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, why not just go? If we're really going to shortcut, just go get the compound.
Yeah.
Which, do they give you that? Is that what they're talking about? Or they really talking about,
they were talking about
a warm cup of pee?
Yes. They were actually talking about urine therapy.
Which is what, in an IV?
No. Oh my gosh, no. If that would kill you, you would. No.
So that would kill you.
Well, you're not going to put it into your bloodstream.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, what are we talking? Urine therapy, where they're literally like
drinking pee to
your own pee. Are they giving you pee from other people?
I don't.
It has to be your pee.
I think it's your pee because it's your information. It has to go back in.
So much.
Yeah.
Right.
It has to be your urine.
Why are we putting what is he selling? I gotta look.
They didn't say.
They didn't say?
No.
Are you sure?
I didn't know. And I went and looked at the notes. And there was nothing there. But it could be that urine therapy is, you go into, of course, they have to charge you, but you go into an office.
Oh, and the guy that he was interviewing is an investigative medical journalist.
Oh, and he's wearing a white coat.
Puts on white coat.
Bonus.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he has another one where it says an ex-spinal surgeon talks on the profound experience he had from drinking drinking her own urine. And then so this is what it is.
Profound experience.
So it's urine-derived stem cells.
Oh, there are so interestingly enough, going back to, and it's not, okay. So it's not so much in your urine, but in the amniotic fluid. And this is where a lot of the research has been, is there are both differentiated cells and stem cells, which are the undifferentiated cells, in amniotic fluid. So technically, if you're talking fetal pee, so they're saying, is there a stem cell in our adult urine? I did not see any studies to indicate that is it, but there could be research going on saying that there are some stem cells in there. But if there were, first of all, stem cells are age dependent. Your stem cells at age 5 are different than 20, are different than 30, 40, and actually after about mid-30s, your stem cells are it's pretty hard for a stem cell to differentiate. Yeah. So
people are saying it's not social media blows my mind. It's not a waste product. It's an excess product.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that all biology has just been wrong all of these years, but Instagram and TikTok can correct us.
I know. It's fabulous. It's crazy. But I was just, so they're still talking about drinking their own pee. They're just saying there are stem cells in it, and now they're calling it UDSC. Can be easily obtained from urine samples through non-invasive methods.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you want to move on to the next one? Because this would be like a part 2.
I am still blown away.
I know.
And also, I just get blown away by this guy who has no medical license. He's a filmmaker, a medical journalist, and a health advocate. And he's out here literally talking about using heavy metal binders, curing PCOS, talking about drinking urine. I mean, different things. And it just, SIBO.
But
whatever.
That's a whole nother podcast. I want to go down that road.
Anywho, okay, so now let's talk about eating poop, since we'll just move on to this.
I'll go to page 2. No, when you sent that to me, I have to say, so I worked in transplant. I guess when this stuff started happening, 2012-ish, or something. Anyway, I worked in solid organ transplant, but and a lot of patients in transplant situations, and others too, have massive problems getting C. diff over and over and over and over again. And
should we talk about why that happens?
Well, when you have a transplant, you're on massive immune suppressing drugs, and if your immune system is suppressed, then which is why people get C. diff too. Not even. Yeah, but I'm just saying, but it was a problem, right? Yeah. So problem, science goes, I want to solve problem, and so some research was done on fecal transplants. And they were done, under surgical conditions. The donated feces has to go through a stringent process of being cleaned and checked and whatever before it's transplanted into the body of the person who's suffering from C. diff, because nothing else was working. You couldn't rebuild from the mouth down. There was nothing that was helping. You couldn't give them enough. These transplant patients. The transplant patients. And so this whole idea of fecal transplants came out of, a need for,
which these people were dying. It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was fascinating. It was absolutely fascinating. Yeah. And I, was fortunate enough to be there at a time when all of this was kind of new, and we had all of our jokes and everything, but it was still, kind of cool. So, So now we're down to, we're going to purchase pills.
Yeah. With feces.
With human feces.
Yeah.
In the pills. And they're saying that this is now going to rebuild your...
Do you want to see that clip?
Your microbiome.
Well, I have that one too.
Yeah.
But it's going to help to repopulate bacteria.
Right. And so anyway, and it all comes from a stool bank. Mm-hmm. Which in my brain is like
gross. Okay, so gross. So gross.
No, but so I'm just like, okay, people sell their blood. Now apparently we're going to have a urine bank. So now you can just go.
I forgot about college days. I knew so many people that would go.
The guy you dated used to go and sell his plasma.
We only got $25 for it.
He was the skinniest guy. He could not afford to lose any fluid whatsoever.
But you had to wait a certain amount of time.
Yes.
So they'd only let you donate 3 times a week or something, and still they would go, and it was maybe it was $75 a week.
I know.
But
hey, it's date money. So anyway,
what date?
College. She was drinking money. Yeah. So anyway, but So the funny thing is, so then I started looking at, there are a couple of supplement companies out there, mm-hmm. Two that I found. So I'm reading this stuff, mm-hmm. and what was kind of humorous to me is that the side effects from taking the poop pills are the same as you would get for IBS. Bloating, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, gas, because
again, we're talking about an insane amount of toxins, but also bacteria that you don't fully have control over. You haven't, they could take a stool sample, which I assume they do, mm-hmm. and test. But again, I mean, simply, it's the same as if you took a probiotic. Well, most probiotics don't do jack. Sorry. Jack all. But the ones that potentially do get bypass stomach and start to populate.
Yes. They don't repopulate you can take probiotics all day long. They're not going to repopulate. They get you started, and then you've got to get nourishment in there in order for it to really work.
But what I'm saying is that the same thing is true. So ingesting bacteria that you don't know if you need or not
Correct.
into a stomach
And small
intestine that definitely does not need
Mm-hmm.
the bacteria. It may not make its way ever out of the small intestine, and there's a crap ton of toxins.
Yeah. I mean,
why?
but they're saying it comes from a stool bank. It's being tested and blah,
But that
blah.
doesn't
But it's not
matter.
at the same level as if you're going into a surgical procedure where they're going. It's funny. They make a slurry. It has more than just
I think it's
that. It's a pill.
But you can, like, if I take a pill,
I don't know. Do you bird poop? That's disgusting.
I just don't understand the psychology behind this. Like, I do not understand. I don't think I ever will understand the psychology behind people wanting these kinds of
I think some people just,
cures.
again,
Shortcuts?
shock. No, I think some people it's like shock values. I think there are
something like people eating their placenta too after birth. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
That the Kardashians made that like real famous.
Sure,
but it's the
same.
Thing.
Actually, watch
so
them do it.
We're eating our own placenta. We're eating our own poop. We're drinking our own pee. Like all of these things
Mm-hmm.
instead of just eating nutrient dense food. I do not understand.
I know.
Why is that? Why? And I've thought a lot about this being a coach and working with so many women and myself and you and everyone in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing, and more so than working out, more so than any lifestyle change, health thing, is eating food.
Mm-hmm.
It is so freaking hard to the point that we will eat our own poop, drink our own pee, and eat our own placenta for the benefit of nutrients, not even the same benefit, probably no benefit, and maybe even to a detriment.
Yeah.
Before we will adjust and work at nutrient dense foods.
I know.
I'm like, my brain doesn't understand it even when I've experienced it myself.
I know.
Like I have had days, weeks, months where like the last thing I want to do is plan a meal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we were on the phone this past week or last week or whatever with the client. It was like 1:00 in the afternoon or something, or 11:00 in the morning. And she was like, no, I just haven't eaten. I don't have time to eat. I've got like stuff going on. And you were like, no,
like that's
11:00. You need to eat.
The most common statement. I don't have time to eat.
I know.
And our entire functionality as human beings require us to eat. It's like it is the number one thing that we need. Food, shelter, some water.
Yeah.
We die without it.
I know.
I don't, it's almost like my life's mission to
get people to eat,
to dig into the psychology behind this so that I can create a solution for it, because it's challenging to this point.
Oh, I know.
Challenging to that point.
But this is one where I would say I wouldn't do it. I mean, unless, no, but I'm just saying,
this is what I wouldn't do.
But I'm just saying, like, there is some truth and reason to having a solution of using donor feces to repopulate a small intestine that has been decimated for some reason. Mm-hmm. Like, and there's no other choice other than they're going to die because they're going to die.
But then go through the proper medical channels.
I know, that's what I know. And that's like, but instead of this, but people make money because they make money. They make money. So, gosh, well, that's, the whole problem with our medical system, everything around it is all about follow the money. But,
well, the health and wellness world, and medicine,
yeah,
but
both.
Also but sometimes these procedures, like you, like go see a doctor. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, like just stop buying the things online that people are selling you. Go see someone. You will, like, until you get a diagnosis or you have someone invested in taking your entire medical history and actually treating you as an individual human being, like just go do that.
I think people, like, especially today, because of all of the free health and wellness advice you can get at your fingertips, they avoid going.
And it's not all bad. There's a lot of great information that you can get. There's a lot of things you can do for free. There's a lot of great information, but
at some point you need to go and talk to an expert. And and here's the thing. One of my biggest things is informed consent, but it's also about being a consumer. And you're a consumer of medicine. It's your body, it's your choices. And if you're not getting what you want from the practitioner sitting across from you, you either demand it. I mean, because you're paying for it, or go find somebody else.
We have so many clients that are like, "Oh, I guess I can ask my doctor to take me off of that, or I guess I can talk to them about taking me off that medication." We're like, "What do you mean? If you want off of it, just look at them and say, I'm coming off of it.
This is not doing me any favors." It's like you know you best.
They don't get to make that decision. Maybe we should say, let's do coffee enemas. Let's do part 2.
Okay.
Because I think there's more to dive into. But this was super fun.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
You talk a lot. And I'm sorry if I talk too fast. I have to tell my brain to slow down because when I'm like really into something, it's like, my brain's going a million miles a minute.
Yeah. Bottom line is, as always, eat food. Just eat food.
I know. So many problems.
You can, issues. 90% of your problems can be solved. I strongly believe that with nutrient-dense meals 3 times a day. Literally, it is that simple. That is that simple. And nutrient density, what I mean by nutrient density is like any of the foods that have the most minerals inside of them. That's all that means. And
and don't get caught in the weeds with all of that.
You know what I'm going to do?
Well, can I finish my
Sorry. I will attach to this podcast show notes, wherever you're listening to this, a checklist for you of the nutrient dense foods. What to include every day in your meal planning. It's just a little checklist. It's something that I go through in my brain every day where I'm like, did I get these foods every day to help? Again, it's the hardest thing. I get it. I mean, I empathize with it. I don't say that to make light of it, but eating is the hardest thing.
It is. I think for women especially. We do we're too busy. We're too busy to eat, which is just, okay, imagine if you're too busy to eat for...
Too busy to eat.
3 months.
To sleep.
Where would you be if you didn't eat food for 3 months? Or all you ate was a power bar once a day for 3 months? Where would you be? You would be very, very ill. Like you would be ill.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I want to give that to you because 90% of this.
Well, and I was going to say, and don't get caught in the weeds around organic, not organic. Our soil doesn't give us all the nutrients, all the things.
There's lots of nutrients.
Lots of noise.
Every single piece of produce, conventional or organic. Yes, there are certain people in certain times of their healing journey that will benefit greatly from organic food and trying to lessen their toxic load, but that's not even a forever thing. Go into that in long detail. But affordability matters, cost matters, financial stress matters. Whole foods, whether they're conventional or not, conventional meat, organic meat, conventional apples, organic, conventional dairy, there are still so many benefits from eating whole foods, regardless of the marketing.
I was going to say just the noise, the noise that surrounds our food.
Yes, but there is, I mean, that's a whole other conversation. But
I just want to say that's like, if you're thinking about that, like you're listening and you're thinking about, what about this? And what about this? It's like, forget the noise.
You're overthinking it. You're overthinking
exactly.
Just go eat enough fruits, vegetables, and animal protein and like do that first. See how you're feeling. And then you can get into the weeds. But until you have established eating food regularly, good whole nutrient dense foods regularly, please don't worry about any of that other stuff. And there's a good chance you won't ever need to
drink your own urine or eat other people's poop.
So anyways, we'll do a part 2 coffee enemas.
All right,
see you there.
Bye.